So what is the Pokémon game that you can't show on YouTube? It is Pokémon Channel, released in 2003 for the Nintendo GameCube. If you look up any video of this game on YouTube, you'll see a little message from the uploader complaining about their video getting removed due to copyright strikes. And if you were to live stream the game, as soon as you ended stream, sure enough, your VOD would get striked as well. Not even Germa is immune to this. Uploads or compilations of his Pokémon Channel streams have to be censored just so the video doesn't get taken down. So what gives? Why is the Pokémon Company taking down videos of this seemingly innocuous GameCube game from 22 years ago? Let's find out together, shall we? Pokémon Channel is a very bizarre video game, one that is surprisingly difficult to categorize. It's a collect-a-thon virtual pet point-and-click game with enough exploration for it to feel like an adventure game, and weird virtual pet games are my bread and butter. It shares a lot of DNA with the previous game in the series, Hey You Pikachu, which I would love to talk about, but that'll have to wait for another video. Anyway, as for why footage of the game keeps getting taken off of YouTube, the answer is pretty simple actually. First of all, it's not Pokémon Company taking the videos down, it's actually Pro Entertainment, which is the production company responsible for the Pokémon anime. They submitted the entirety of the anime to YouTube's Content ID, which is an automated system to detect copyrighted content and remove it from the platform. Pokémon Channel for GameCube, the topic of this video, has clips of the Pokémon anime in it. Not only are the anime clips one of the main rewards for progressing the game, they are required watching. You are not given the option to skip them. And that's a bit of a problem for Let's Players, because it means you have to edit your video aggressively to remove all the clips of the anime that the game makes you watch. And as such, if you were to live stream the game, that's why your VOD would get taken down immediately upon ending stream. Stay tuned to the end of this video or check the description for a solution to this problem. But for now, it's time for the ad.
You ever try to take a nap and you end up just lying there with your eyes closed, thinking about something you did in middle school? Yeah, me too. But that's why I'm excited that today's video is sponsored by Manta Sleep, because they actually get how important good rest is. Manta Sleep is all about what they call the pro-nap movement, which is basically the idea that naps aren't just for kids or lazy Sundays. They're total game changers for your focus, energy, and overall well-being. And as someone who runs on a weird mix of hyperfixation and exhaustion, I've already been using sleep masks for years at this point. And the Manta Sleep Mask Pro has brought me many a restful night already. It's got this premium ultra soft padding, and the adjustable eye cups completely block out light without putting pressure on your eyes. That means you can blink and move comfortably, which is a must for side sleepers. Plus, the strap is customizable, so it actually stays in place instead of sliding off like every other sleep mask I have ever used. Whether you're trying to squeeze in a midday power nap or you just need to block out your partner's late night phone scrolling, this mask actually helps you get real quality sleep. So if you want to upgrade your sleep game, check out the Manta Sleep Mask Pro using the link in the description, and thank you to Manta Sleep for sponsoring this video. Okay, so getting back on topic. Who cares, right? Pokémon Channel is a spin-off Pokémon game that got mid-reviews at launch. Why does it matter that videos of it can't be uploaded to YouTube easily? It's because this game is really unique and interesting. If you're watching Planet Clue, it means you appreciate esoteric media from 20-something years ago like I do, and nothing fits the bill better than Pokémon Channel. As far as I'm concerned, this is the definitive Clue Core video game. It ticks every single box for me. So let's get into it. The game begins with Professor Oak dropping a TV right into your house. The idea is, you are a test audience for Pokémon Channel, which is an in-universe TV station that airs a bunch of different kinds of Pokémon-related TV shows. And immediately, he asks you to watch the first part of the Pichu Bros anime. There's no way to skip it or fast forward through it, you just have to watch it, and I obviously can't show it in this video. Once you do, he teaches you how to write a report about what you watched, which is essentially the equivalent of saving your game, but then Oak shows you that you're not exclusively locked into looking at the TV. You can take a step back, and hey, there's a bunch of Pokemon at your door, and you can invite Pikachu in. What an opportunity! A wild Pikachu just happened to be so enticed by the TV that he's become part of the test audience. Oak wants to know exactly what Pikachu thinks of Pokémon Channel, and you have to be the one to report it. The TV is the core mechanic of the game, and thankfully the anime is only a small part of it. Right off the bat, there are a bunch of channels to watch, and you unlock more as you progress. You have the news channel, where Psyduck gives you the hot scoop of what's happening, and they go live to Meowth, who's on the scene, and he interviews Pokemon in a very adorable fashion, which has become a genuine vocal stim for me.
I'm here on the scene. Licky tang. Licky tang. I see. And there you have it. That ends my report from the scene.
I'm here on the scene. Lasso. Lasso. I see. And there you have it. That ends my report on the scene.
There's also Smooch'em Shape Up, which is an exercise channel, and when you zoom out from the TV, you can see Pikachu trying to do the exercises, which is insanely cute. Look at him go! There's also Quiz Wobbuffet, where you compete in Pokemon trivia, and if you get it right, you get money. Oh yeah, I haven't explained the money yet. Oak starts you off with some money at the beginning of the game, which you can spend in the Pokemon shopping channel called Shop and Squirtle. This is a pretty core part of the game as well. They go through 3 items at a time, and you can choose to buy or not to buy. There's a huge range of potential items that can show up here, and that list gets larger as the game progresses. There are dolls, posters, wallpapers, and other stuff to customize your room. It's really neat. And when you buy stuff from there, Delibird swings by to drop it off at your door, and Pikachu excitedly reveals what's inside. But yeah, sometimes it's nice to just let the TV play, take a step back, and explore your bedroom. You can make Pikachu dig in the trash and get his little paws dirty just to find nothing, but when he looks under the bed, he finds a Pokemon Mini. For context, the Pokemon Mini was a real Nintendo handheld that released in 2001. It's like a tiny Game Boy, but there are only Pokemon-related minigames on it. But yeah, Pokemon Channel features a fully fledged and accurate Pokemon Mini emulator in it, which is very out of left field, but also extremely cool. The Shop and Squirtle even offers new models of Pokemon Mini to choose from, and even cartridges with new games for you to play on it. It's really fun seeing what antics Pikachu can get up to around the room, like politely asking if he can chew on the TV. How could I say no to that face? Of course you can chew on the TV. Then Professor Oak gives you the Smeargle figurine, which allows you to capture frames from your TV and paint all over them. It's super fun, but the UI makes some incredibly cursed sound effects, and the eerie silence doesn't help. Once you fill out the final report for the day, Pikachu gets so excited he thunderbolts the TV, completely destroying it. And Professor Oak rush orders you a very old black and white TV to use for now, and then tells you to grin and bear it. It's like, dude, I didn't do anything. Pikachu did it. It's not my fault. You say goodbye to Pikachu, power cycle your GameCube, open the BIOS, and set the date forward by 1 day. That's right, this game uses the real-time clock to determine when new shows arrive. Animal Crossing style. Sure, you could wait a full day before booting the game up again, but if you change the date when you run out of content, you can clear the whole game in about 3 hours. And thankfully, by the next day, Oak was able to get you a replacement color TV, and everything's fine. He also mentions that you can buy new TVs on the Shop and Squirtle, which is a very fun feature. There are some new programs this time around, like Slowpoke's Weather, where he will very slowly tell you the weather. There's also Smeargle's Art Study, where Smeargle will look at the art you made and worship your creative brilliance like you're the next Da Vinci. But sometimes it's good to go outside, and there are actually quite a few areas to explore in Pokemon Channel. For instance, you can head to the yard, and there are a bunch of Pokemon around to hang out with. If you talk to them and answer their trivia question correctly, they give you a Nice Card, which I also have not explained yet. Nice Cards are the main collectible of Pokemon Channel. You get them from meeting Pokemon outside, like I said, or by simply buying packs of them on Shop and Squirtle. There are 101 Nice Cards to collect, each corresponding to a different Pokemon. There's also a garden out in the yard where you can grow a flower if you water it every day. From the yard, you can head to Springleaf Field, where you can find a ball and play catch with Pikachu, and it's really cute. On day 3, Oak allows you to name Pikachu. So I named him Yellow Man, because he's my little yellow man. There are some new channels, such as the Hatch Up Poke Egg channel, where you guess what Pokemon is going to hatch from the egg, wait 5 minutes, and if you're right, it gives you money. There's also Chansey's Fortune Cookie channel, which gives you a little horoscope. You can head to the front yard, which leads to the bus stop. There are more Pokemon friends here, but also a bus that can take you to different parts of the city. Once you find the bus passes in Shop and Squirtle, that is. Speaking of Shop and Squirtle, if you want to skip segments like the intro or items you're not interested in, if you press L and then R to like cycle the channels and then go back, it'll immediately go to the next segment, which is a miracle for trying to collect all the items in the game. When you head up to Viridian Forest, Pikachu can play a little concert with a group of Cleffa. Aside from some Pokemon you can meet, there's also Camp Starlight, which is only open at night. Once night falls, however, you can hang out around a bunch of Pokemon at a campfire. There's a sign that says, "On a clear night, look to the stars," but if the sky isn't clear, you can't do it. When you hop on the bus to Mount Snowfall, there's also a little concert where Jigglypuff sings, but of course with all the snow on the ground, Pikachu simply has to build a snowman. And finally, there's Cobalt Coast, where Pikachu can fish. It's really fun to pull in all sorts of water-type Pokemon, including Wailmer. There's Wailmer. There he is. On the 4th day, there are a few new channels, such as is Chum Chum ranking, where Smoochum will arbitrarily rank random Pokemon with a point system. I'm not really sure how it works. It also reveals some statistics, like how much TV you've watched. There's also a minigame called Odd One Out, where you have to guess if the number of Pokemon on screen will be even or odd, and the earlier you guess, the more money you get. You can also double up and gamble a little bit. And finally, there's the Relaxation channel, where you count Mareep, and that's the whole thing. On day 5, there's a breaking news alert. The final program disc has gone missing. Magnemite was supposed to deliver it, but it fell, and they lost it. They can't find it anywhere. So it's up to you and Pikachu to go find it. In Mount Snowfall, there's suddenly a new area to explore called the Ruins of Truth. But Gengar is blocking the path, and you have to find the Duskull lamp. So you head over to Springleaf Field to find Duskull. He wants a ball, and once you give the ball to him, he gives you the lamp. You take the lamp over to Gengar, and when Pikachu holds it up, Gengar cartoonishly sprints away, at last revealing the entrance to the Ruins of Truth. This is the grand finale of the game, and I think it's a masterpiece. It's so ominous and quiet and spooky. I love it so much. You start off in complete darkness with nothing but 2 weird plants in front of you. Pikachu thunderbolts both of them, and they light the path ahead. And right up ahead is the riddle tablet. You have to answer true or false. If you get it wrong, Golbat appears, and you have to do the whole thing again. But if you get it right, a Golbat statue appears. Pikachu checks inside of its mouth and then gets stuck, and you have to free him by rapidly jiggling the joystick. When he is free, the final program disc comes with. So Pikachu returns the disc to Magnemite, you get to watch the final part to the anime, and then file a report. Professor Oak thanks you and Pikachu for your contributions as a test audience for Pokemon Channel, and that's about it. But if you open the game the next day, all of a sudden, Jirachi comes to visit and floats around your room for a minute. Then you head to Camp Starlight and you can finally use the star projector. And they project the Pichu Bros anime, all 5 parts in its entirety, onto the night sky, and that's the end of Pokemon Channel. We've seen it all. But that's not absolutely everything. I didn't include some of the secrets and completion rewards just so you could dig those up for yourself in your playthrough. Pokemon Channel might not be super mechanically dense, but it's cozy and it's charming and it's extremely distinct. I can't think of any other video game that feels like this. The TV mechanic is really unique. Like, not a lot of games allow you to just set the controller down and watch something with a virtual pet for a little while. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood for a slow-paced, low-stakes video game, and Pokemon Channel scratches that itch for me. Seeing how much detail they put into Pikachu and how he interacts with the TV and with the world is fascinating. He can exercise, he runs all around the room, he'll ask you to pet him, and you can even train him to change the channel on his own. Pikachu's behavior is really cute in this game. The collectathon element carried my enjoyment a lot further than I thought. I ended up talking to every new Pokemon I saw just so I could collect their respective nice card. I loved scrubbing through Shop and Squirtle over and over just to see what items would show up. The fact that they embedded an entire Pokemon mini into the game that you can interact with was so cool. Like, I love grinding to try and get the gold one with all the games. It's so satisfying. The excessive use of trivia as a gameplay element got a little tedious near the end, but it's perfectly enjoyable most of the time. It has some stiff animations, and sometimes the game has some uncanny audio, but stylistically, I don't have much bad to say about it. Overall, I think Pokemon Channel is one of the most fascinating titles for the GameCube, but I feel like it hasn't achieved the same reach as a lot of the classics from that era because of the anime segments and the fact that you can't skip them. So I made a mod for the game that removes the anime segments entirely, called Pokemon Channel Stream Safe Edition. That way, streamers and YouTubers can freely play the game without worrying that their content is going to get taken down. You can download it using the link in the description, just drop it straight into Dolphin and you're good to go. Prior to now, Pokemon Channel has never had a widescreen code for the American version of the game, so I commissioned it for my friend Zarithia, who also added it to the Dolphin Wiki. Now, I have to put these modding segments at the very end or else Nintendo will take my video down, but seriously, Nintendo's greed is actually pissing me off at this point. They've been getting really cocky by gradually exhibiting more and more anti-consumer practices in the past 15 years, and the pricing of the Nintendo Switch 2 has absolutely crossed the line. Almost $100 for a single video game is actually insane. Nintendo has a massive backlog of fantastic games that are no longer available for sale that have been graciously preserved by the community. On an unrelated note, there's a fan site that I like a lot called Myrient. You can click on Files at the top, and if the system is cartridge-based, click on No Intro. If it's disc-based, click on Redump. There's lots of cool resources for Nintendo fans on there. On an equally unrelated note, there's this other great site called EmuGen that ranks the software you can use those resources on, and it's kept up to date so you can keep track of what the best software to use is. Thank you for watching my YouTube video. There's no P.O. Box stuff this time around, but if you want to send something, take a look at my channel's About page. Thanks to everyone on patreon.com/clue, and I will see you again really soon.